Hi, I'm going to walk you through getting started with TIBCO Silver Spotfire. I've registered and I've received an email from TIBCO with information about how to go ahead and get started with Spotfire, including my username and password, as well as some links to download the software, the server that I need to connect to, as well as some more information about various resources that can help me. I've installed the software and now I'm going to log in using the username and password supplied. While I'm logging in, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the data that I'd like to analyze. I have some data from my CRM system. It includes the typical information that you might find in such a report, including the opportunity name, the rep, the value that opportunity is associated with, and various other information about the opportunities. I'd like to bring this into Spotfire and do some analysis on this so that I can get more insight into what's going on in my sales pipeline. So I've got an open session of Spotfire. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some data into it. I have a couple of options for doing this. One of the things that I can do, it's very easy, is simply copy and paste data from a file-based source. I think that's what I'm going to do here. Go ahead, copy the data from Excel and paste it into Spotfire. This will open a dialog with some import settings, letting me look at the data that I'm bringing into Spotfire. Let me choose which columns I'd like to bring in. In this case, I want to pull in everything. So I simply click OK. Alternatively, I could drag and drop the file into the blank work. In addition to drag and drop and copy paste, I could go to File, Open, Add to Data Table, go over here to the Add button, and choose a source. In this case, File. I browse to the file that I'd be interested in opening and open it from there. In that dialog, I could also connect to a local database, whether that's Microsoft Access, SQL Server, Oracle, or anything with an ODBC driver. So as I mentioned, I'd like to work with this data. I'd like to get in a sense of who my best reps are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a bar chart. Spotfire is going to dynamically generate a bar chart here. And it's chosen to put the sum total amount on the y-axis and the fiscal quarter on the x-axis. That's an interesting visualization, but not what I really want to see. I want to pull the rep field over here onto the x-axis. Spotfire has dynamically reaggregated this data, showing me the sales totals or the total pipeline for each of my reps. That's a useful thing, but again, not exactly the way I want to see it. I'd like to order these bars by height so that I can see a little bit more easily who my best sales reps are. So here we can see the sales reps ordered according to their sales pipeline. I'd like to actually add a little bit more information and color according to the forecast category. Here we can see this rep has a lot of early stage pipeline, whereas a number of other reps have closed significant business. I'm going to rename this page and use this as the introductory visualization for my published dashboard. This analysis can also form the basis for further analysis, so I'm going to duplicate this page and create one that allows me to analyze my closed business. Here what I'd like to do is actually look at the product types and see how that's affected my closed business. So I'm going to drag this over here and color by that instead of the forecast category. Additionally, what I'd like to do is go back to that forecast category filter and filter out everything but the already closed business. So now we're looking at just deals that have closed, and we can see that I have 3 reps who are really standouts relative to the rest. I'm going to select these 3 reps and drill in and get a little bit more information about the deals that they've closed. I'm going to create a detailed visualization. I'm going to use a scatter plot. Simply by right-clicking, I can create this linked visualization. Here I'm going to configure this so that the total time to close a deal is on the y-axis. I'm going to leave total amount here on the x-axis. I'm going to color by the product type and size by the total amount of the opportunity closed. What I've done is created a linked visualization where I can dynamically update the values in the lower visualization by making selection in the top. So here I'm looking at my bottom performing sales reps and examining how they perform. I can compare those with my top performing reps simply by clicking and selecting. Similarly, I can make selection in this lower graph and drill down to the individual details for these opportunities. Simply by right-clicking, creating a table view, I get down to the row level detail for each of these opportunities. Now I'd like to publish this. If I go to File, Save, this will open a dialog that allows me to choose which of the 3 slots on the TIBCO Silver Spotfire cloud infrastructure I'd like to publish this to. I have 2 password protected slots as well as a public slot. If I save to the password protected slots, I'm the only one who can access it. If I save it to the public slot, it's available to anybody to whom I forward the URL. I'm going to choose the public slot. I've saved this, and now I have a link that I can make available to people who want to view this application. Clicking the link allows me to open the application in a web browser where I can see that it's virtually identical and retains nearly all of the interactivity that you find in the TIBCO Spotfire Silver client. This can be published to anybody who has a browser simply by sending them the URL. I hope this brief tutorial will helps you understand a little bit about the power of TIBCO Spotfire Silver. You're able to quickly import data, create analyses, and publish those out for broad consumption in just a few minutes and with just a few clicks. Please contact us if you have any questions. But for now, go ahead and get started.